Menopause is not one event. It runs for 10 years or more. Every stage inside it has its own hormones, its own symptoms, and its own correct treatment. Get the stage wrong, and the best treatment in the world turns against you. Even your own doctor can miss it. First, forget how the word usually gets used, because it gets used completely wrong. Menopause is not a season of your life. It is one single day. It is the day that marks 12 months since your last period, and you can only name it looking backward. Everything in the years before that day is one set of stages. Everything in the decades after it is another. That one correction changes everything. So, the hot flashes, the rage, the sleepless nights, none of those are menopause itself. They belong to the stages around it, and those stages are where the real story lives. There are 5 of them. Let us find yours. The first is premenopause. This is simply your body running the way it always has. Your cycle is regular. Your hormones rise and fall in a steady monthly rhythm. You have no real symptoms. There is nothing to treat here, and that is the whole point. If you're in premenopause and told your problems are hormonal, you've been sent down the wrong road. Your hormones are doing exactly what they should. The second stage is early perimenopause, and this is where the confusion starts. Your cycle still looks normal on the calendar. Your period still arrives on time. But underneath, one hormone has started to fall. That hormone is progesterone. Progesterone is the calm one. It settles your nervous system. It carries you into deep sleep. As it drops, estrogen keeps swinging, and it often swings high. So you feel it as sleep that breaks at 3 a.m., a temper with a hair trigger, breasts that ache before your period. And here is the mistake that hurts women most. You walk in with all of that and you get handed estrogen, but your estrogen is already high. Adding more throws fuel on a fire that is already burning. You needed the calm hormone. You got a bigger dose of the loud one. Stage 3 is late perimenopause, and now your calendar finally cracks. Your periods skip. They stretch out, run late, then vanish for a month. This is the turn where estrogen stops swinging and starts genuinely leaving. And this is when the symptoms everyone pictures with menopause arrive. The hot flashes, the night sweats, the dryness nobody warned you about. Now watch the mistake flip. You get put on progesterone alone, because that is what settled the stage before. But your problem now is falling estrogen, and progesterone alone rarely touches a hot flash. It's not built to replace the estrogen that's actually driving it. This time you needed estrogen support. The calm hormone on its own left you stranded and burning up at 2 a.m. Stage 4 barely lasts at all, because it is that single day again. 12 months, no period, and it is already behind you the second it counts. You do not live in menopause, you walk through it in one step. And that step drops you straight into the stage that runs the rest of your life. Stage 5 is postmenopause, and you will live here longer than all the other stages stacked together. Your hormones are now low and finally steady. The wild swings are over, but the job changes. This is no longer about chasing hot flashes week to week. Estrogen protected your bones, your heart, and your brain for decades, and now it is gone. So the priorities turn long-term, treated only for symptoms here and never for what low estrogen does over 20 years. You're left exposed to the things that matter most. So why does this go wrong so often, even with good doctors? Here is the part nobody explains. Through perimenopause, your hormones do not slide down a smooth ramp. They lurch. They spike one day and crash the next. So a single blood test tells you almost nothing, because the result depends entirely on which day you walked in. Test on a high day, and you look years away from menopause. Test on a low day, and you look like you are already through it. Same you, same week, 2 opposite answers. That is why so much treatment lands wrong. It is aimed at one frozen photo of a hormone that never stops moving. So here is what actually works, and you can start tonight. Track 2 things. Track your cycle length, month to month, so you catch the skipping the moment it begins. And track when your symptoms hit, meaning which week of your cycle they land in. That simple record, kept for a few months, tells a doctor more than an untimed blood draw ever will. It shows your stage instead of guessing at it. And when hormone testing does happen, it only means something tied to a specific day of your cycle. A number with a date is an answer. Go back to that moment. You weren't too young, and you weren't making it up. You were simply living in a different stage than the one you were being treated for. The one thing you were missing is the thing you now have: a map. So which one are you in? You can probably feel the answer already. Every one of these 5 stages has its own symptoms, its own treatments, and its own trap. So we are going through them one at a time. We start with early perimenopause because it is the stage most women are already living in without realizing it. It is the one nobody sees coming, and it is next.